For our fourth installment of Is This Just Coincidence? We're just going to do 5 people, and we're going to go from parapsychology to pizza. And I won't take too long to intro. I just want to say that for 7 years, I've been telling people that I experienced divinity, timelessness, God, the universe, what it is, and I was shown that all things correspond with their sign and their sound. We could say our sins because those are things that make us less than. The whole is one thing. Anything that is less than the whole is a sinner. It means less than. So your sounds and your signs are the design that you live by. Always will be and always has been. And I'm the only person who's showing it because I'm not worried about capitalizing off of my experience. I want you to capitalize off of my knowledge. Moving into our first entry, we have Joseph Banks Rhine, born September 29th, 1895, in Pennsylvania. As I've said many times, Joseph is yourself, the intense, ongoing subject expressed potential here. Or you could say intense, ongoing subject expressed placement here. That obviously is yourself. It may be hard for people to understand that that means the masculine energy. It doesn't mean you're a male gender. It just means yourself. That part of you that takes action. Now, his middle name is Banks. Base, active, notion, kinetic, subject. So if you were a bank that you subject of yourself and you vibrate with that, and then your last name is Rhine, reference here identified notion expressed. He's known for ESP. Yourself, Banks, Rhine, reference here in expressed. Okay? Reference here in expressed. ESP. And his birthday, if that doesn't make enough sense to you, September 9, the 9th month, I identified. 29th, as I've said many, many times, 28 is that blank space. It's based here. 28 is BH, based here. 29 is based identified. So it's something in that space identified. One before 3D or 30. We can get into that deeper stuff at a different time. And when you're personally interested, I will gladly explain it to you. But for now, 29, just know that that is based identified. And then his birth year, 1895, which is reference identified, expressed. In a month, day, and year, that would symbolize identified, base identified, reference identified, expressed. And he was yourself Banks, Rhine. Do you see that that's a man who is known for ESP? If not, I'll keep showing you because I know about all the things that I need to know for this universe to be correct. Other people are busy searching after what they want or what they think they should be doing because other people taught them incorrectly. Most likely not on purpose because nobody's understood this before. Nobody, anywhere, at any time. At least not as a human being. And I'm sorry to be the one to break the news to you, but who else can break the news to you about it happening to me but me? And now it's happening and opening up for you. So let's move on to the next guy. Next we have Bob Lazar, or Robert Lazar. People in the UFO communities would know much of this man because he worked in that secret facility, Area 51. And he's always talking about communication with aliens and technology. And we can go way into all of these stories because, like I've said 1,000 times, the universe is telling the same story through each of us. And each of us resonates with it in a different way based on what time and era we're in and the people around us and what we collectively agree on as moral or immoral, trendy or non-trendy. And then there's the few outliers. And the outliers always resonate with their names and dates. That brings us to Bob Lazar, Robert Scott Lazar, born January 26, 1959. First, Robert and Bob. Base ongoing base for Bob. Reference ongoing base, expressed reference plus. See how Bob shortens to Robert because it's base ongoing base, and the other one's reference ongoing base, expressed reference. So you have 2 references of the ongoing base being expressed. So it's BOB, base, or reference ongoing base, expressed reference plus. So then Scott, subject, constant to itself, ongoing, plus. So it's not just the spot, it's not just the scout, it's the place and all the things around it. That's why when you get away scot-free, nobody saw you there. Scot-free, because it's the place and that around it. It's not just the scout, it's the scout and the things around it. And when we give it a name and it's a person, there's a consciousness behind it. So then his last name really sets it in stone. As it lies, active from one side to the other, the Z, active reference. Bob Lazar. And if that doesn't make enough sense, his birthday is January, which is 1, active, 26th, from one side to the other, Z, or based familiar. And then 1959, subject expressed identity. Oh, one that's active from one side to the other, and you're going to subject that expressed identity? Oh, okay. Now you associate that with space because his name is, as it lies, active one side to the other, active reference. Can you connect those together? And can you see that what I'm saying actually does make sense, whether you understood it or not before? I hope so, because I'm only doing this to help you. I could be doing other things, but this is more important. Because I care about the truth beneath the hearts and souls of the beings who think they're just humans having an experience. You're much more than that. And someday, this lifetime or the next, your eyes will open to it. I'd like to order a pizza. Hold the cheese and anything dead, and give me plenty of vegetables that are non-GMO. Wait, you don't have that? Okay, never mind. Next we have Papa John. I promised we'd have a pizza on here, but this isn't pizza. This is death in a circle, or a square, if they have square pizza. I don't know. I don't eat there. But either way, Papa John. Middle name Hampton, last name Schneider. Born November 22nd or 23rd, 1961. Must have been a midnight baby. Either way, we have John Hampton Schneider. The name Hampton, his middle name, means youthful, being youthful, because it's ham, here, AM, or here, active, manifest, potential, plus ongoing notion or nature. So it's your here, AM, potential, plus ongoing nature, or notion. And that's just fine and dandy. But when you have John, he's going to join the intense, ongoing here, notion or nature, here, active, manifest, potential, plus ongoing notion or nature, subject, constant to itself, here, nature or notion, active, plus, plus, upon itself, expressed reference. I know that a pizza is something that has a subject, constant to itself, here, notion or nature, active, plus, plus, expressed references. Yep. And then Hampton would be he first joined as in a intense, ongoing here, notion or nature. And Hampton is that youthful thing when we're using cheese from baby cows being taken and young mothers being killed, sausage, pepperoni from young pigs being killed, and ham, placement plus ongoing notion, or ham, potential plus ongoing notion or nature. I'm telling you, and I am insisting that you listen because it's about you, that this is true to all of us. As for his birthday, being November, which is kinetic or actively active, 22nd or 23rd, vital or plural. You can get one pizza, you can get two pizzas. You can just get cheese, you can get pepperoni, or you can get all the toppings. And at the same time, he's also a race car driver that has lots and lots of money from selling pizzas and racing cars. If you go with November, which is kinetic, 22nd or 23rd, which is vital or plural, and then 1961 is subject form active or subject force active. So he's got pizzas and a car. I mean, is that the dream? Sell pizza and race fast cars? Is that really a dream worth living? What does that do for others? I'd really like some answers on that, to be honest, because unfortunately, whether people like it or not, it's a waste of resources, time, and life. That really is the case. But I don't blame anyone for what they didn't think deep enough about before. We can all decide to make better choices, starting and continuing from now. So let's get a move on. I do have to add that if you enjoy animal-free pizzas, kudos to you. And just to make sure that everyone knows, I'm not part of no stupid agenda. But unless you're from under a rock, you'll understand that anything that you want an outcome for is an agenda, just not some sinister plot. That's not all an agenda is. My agenda is to wake people up and have them start caring. If they think that people showing compassion towards the other creatures we share this world with as soft, then they're the biggest part of the problem. We need to move past using animals as products. And with somebody like Papa John, since 1984, making billions of dollars off of animals, imagine how many billions of animals were killed. They're not just cheese, pieces of pepperoni, and ground sausage or chicken or turkey. They're alive. Or at least they were until the human species decided to use them the way they do. Aside from the fact that none of them are natural in the first place, or they're bred into being by force, we're doing everything but being natural. And people will say that that's what we've always done, when it isn't. And if you open your eyes and think, you'll understand that. And get over your ego, because this has nothing to do with my ego. I care about everything else but this guy here. I'm part of everything else. So I care about myself to that degree, and that's it. I care about what is right. And it would be nice if we could fix those problems instead of creating more. So moving on from the circle of death, how about liquid death? Mike Cesario, the founder of Liquid Death. Sure, everyone likes to make a little bit of money, coming up with some kind of cool, trendy way to sell something old. But when we have millions of people dying from not having water, and you have an ex-punk rocker who made billions of dollars off of putting water in an energy drink can, it's pretty sad. And for anyone to think that that's great, and look at how successful of an entrepreneur people can be, you're sad, and you've been led to follow the wrong plan. Anyway, Michael, known as an angel, manifest, identified, constant, here, active, expressed as it lies, or Mike, manifest, identified, kinetic expression, and then Cesario. Cess, we all know that a cesspool is either considered shit or bog of water. Now, if you activate a reference, identified, ongoing of Cess, I'm sure you've heard of the angel of death, and you have Michael, angel, Cesario. It's not funny, but can't you see liquid death? You might as well say shit in a can. It may not be that, but it has that vibration to it. Liquid freaking death. Not funny, Mike. Not funny at all. Why don't we start giving fresh water to everybody instead of liquid death and making billions? Things like this make it disturbing to be a human being. But knowing that we can change is what makes it worth it. Since you can't find Mike Cesario's birthday anywhere, that's fine. But how about the day Liquid Death itself was founded? December 18th, 2018. First of all, December is the 12th month, so it's the as it lies or the active base. And then 18, if you have any understanding of occult, you'll know that 3 6s equals 18. Not only is it on December 18th, it's in the year 2018. So that's 666 upon itself, liquid death. L, 2 666s. Do you think this is planned? If it is, then everything is. Even if it happens to be something that they did as a little joke for themselves. I can actually see through everything. Do you think that's a gift? Because honestly, the way people really are and what we're really doing, it makes it a curse. Yet, my depth of understanding and my love for other people and my ability to be stern yet loving, whether you understand it or not, this is love, is what could possibly help people change. Because I'm willing to keep working with you, unlike so many others. Just want to get rid of the problems and eliminate any threats. You're not a threat to me. I'm not that important. The world needs us to stop being a threat to it. And whether you believe in any of this stuff or not, that's my God-given responsibility to try to do so and help us all come back from where we've fallen down to, mentally and in our own actions. We'll end this one with someone a little more lighthearted. I do apologize for getting stirred up, but when something does matter to you, you're going to show it. And I do this because I give a damn. So anyway, our last guy is Henry Frank Phillips. Most people are not going to know this guy, but most of us have used his tool, the Phillips head screwdriver. Henry Frank Phillips was born June 4th, 1889. First name Henry. Here expressed notion, reference, vitally identified. Frank, form, force, or familiar, reference, active notion, kinetic, or actively active. So you've here expressed the notion or nature, reference, vitally identified. And then form, force, or familiar, a reference, active notion, kinetic. And then you, placement here identified, as it lies upon itself or between two L's, identified, in place, subject. What happens when you screw something into something? It's between two P's, because that would be a place upon itself, but there's all kinds of letters between it. We have a P and another P, and then a subject with a here identified in that space, that X, two L's, fill ip, not fill up, fill ip, that identified place or that identified potential. So that's why in a metaphysical form, it can be about philosophy, but in a physical form, it's about filling up something in a place. Placement here identified as it lies upon itself or in that space, that X identified placement subject. And if you already had a here expressed notion as a reference vitally identified and a form reference active notion kinetic, and then you put it in that place here identified between those two L's, or as it lie upon itself, identified in place, subject, you'd have a screwdriver and a screw for that screwdriver. With his birthday being June 4th, 1889, you have June, which is the 6th month, or the form, force, or familiar, 4th, which is to and from, or dia, that form, force, or familiar, and 1889, reference here identified. So if you're reference here identifying in a dia, to and from form, come on now, you got to see it. And if you don't see it, screw it. I'll keep trying. So ending on a lighter note, that's it for this episode of Name Game. Is it just a coincidence? Until next time, friends and family, I love you. Peace and God bless.